So right now we're going to make our caramel cheesecake with our cranberry sweet and sour sauce. The sweet and sour is very simple. It starts with water, a nice sherry vinegar, sugar, dried cranberries, a little bit of lemon juice, and some salt. You're just going to dump that all into a pot and then put it on the stove. Let it cook over a medium flame until it becomes nice and syrupy. So we're getting that nice and warm right now, and then I'll get my sugar, my heavy cream, and my butter, and we'll make our caramel sauce. So I had my pan preheated, and I add a little bit of sugar, and you can see it started to caramelize. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more sugar. I don't want to add too much because it's going to be difficult for that sugar to melt. And I always stir from the inside out. I always want to use a wooden spoon too, or a high heat spoon, because that's going to give me the best tool for this kind of a job. Now I'm going to add in a cup of heavy cream. I want to do this very slowly. I warmed this up in the microwave beforehand. Okay, and then what we're going to want to do is we add our butter. It's just 3 tablespoons of butter. There we go. Just keep stirring until that butter melts. Looks pretty good to me. You're going to want to check it every 5 minutes or so. Just give it a nice stir. Make sure it's not boiling too rapidly because you want to cook it slowly. If you cook it too fast, the sugar is going to caramelize in there and you're going to end up with something that tastes really bitter, because you want to basically reduce this very slowly to allow all the water to evaporate. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make the crust for our cheesecake. I have a 9-inch cake pan here. It's not a springform pan. You don't really need a springform pan for this. We have 1 3/4 cups graham cracker crumbs. I'm going to dump that in a bowl. And then I have 5 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. And we're just going to stir that up. Okay, and you just want to mix it until you can squeeze it together like that and it holds a nice clump. Okay, so we're going to put this in our cake pan now. Just dump it in there. Just start spreading it out, and then you're going to push it up the sides. We're going to go all the way to the top. So now that we have this part done, we're going to bake this in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes, and that's just to give the graham crackers a little more flavor, because a lot of times these graham crackers that you buy from the store, they don't taste like anything, they taste like nothing. So we're basically going to roast this real quick just to give it a little more depth of flavor. I'm going to put this in the oven right now. Okay, so now we're going to make our cheesecake. I just took my crust out of the oven. And what I have here is some Philadelphia cream cheese, room temperature. I let this sit out overnight because I like it really, really soft. That's the best way to work with cream cheese, and especially Philadelphia. It's the best one for making cheesecake, just because I'm from Philadelphia too. We have a cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt in there. I got about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 vanilla pod, 2 whole eggs, and 1 egg yolk. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the sugar and the salt right into the bowl. And then I'm going to split my vanilla bean. I'm going to split that right down the center. Okay, and then I'm going to open it up. And that's all that vanilla caviar, that vanilla bean. So I'm just going to scrape all that out. So now I'm just going to take this off my knife and just scrape it right into my bowl. So now I have my sugar, my vanilla, and my cream cheese. Put that on my stand mixer. Clean my table, because we always clean as we go, right? Paddle. We're just going to cream that on low speed. Okay. Before I add in my eggs, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You could add almond extract, you could add orange extract, whatever you want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of the egg. Looks like the egg yolk went in there, and then 1 of the whole eggs. You don't want to add them all at once, because otherwise it's just going to swim around in the bowl. They're not going to mix properly. And then we'll add our final egg. Allow that to mix in. Now what we're going to do is our heavy cream. This is going to give it a lot of richness. You could use sour cream or creme fraiche if you wanted to. I like the heavy cream because it makes it a little bit lighter, whereas creme fraiche or sour cream gives it a more heavy and dense feel. It's just my preference to use heavy cream. This is what I've been cooking with for a while, and this is the recipe that I like. So I hope you enjoy it too. Okay, so we'll put this in our prepared cheesecake crust that's just come out of the oven. See, it's nice and smooth. There's no lumps in it. And we're just going to smooth that out on top. Oh yeah, it's looking good, huh? And then I got the caramel that I made earlier. Now this, you want to allow this to cool to room temperature before you put it into your cheesecake. You don't want this screaming hot and then put it in your cheesecake. It's going to make a big mess. Don't do that. Okay, so you can grab a spoon. Okay, I used about half of that, and then I'm just going to take my knife and just kind of swirl it in. Looks pretty good to me. What do you think? It's So now what we'll do is we'll put this in a 250 degree oven. We're gonna bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until it's a little bit jiggly. It should be a little bit firm on top and should spring back when you touch it. And that's how you make our caramel cheesecake with cranberry sweet and sour. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I really hope it was easy for you. If not, my email is mpeterson@newportharbor.com. You can send me an email anytime, and I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed being here with you today, and happy holidays.